Okay, so the first video, when we're talking about digital strategy for advancement, the first video is really all about the problem / the status quo of what's traditionally happening when we're looking to raise some funds, either in small campaigns or large comprehensive campaigns. And so the problem is really ultimately that we're sticking to stuff that has happened for decades and really haven't fully integrated new technology into the way that we do campaign fundraising. And so that's the problem. So let's talk about the solution. We need to talk about theory first. And so I want to show you something that we call the advancement funnel. It's something that we created here at Vinyl. It was actually from Case. Case came out with an article that said, hey, here are some of the things that you need to be keeping track of. And they listed out a whole bunch of stuff. And what we found was these things have a flow to it. It's like it's a funnel. And so that's what we decided to do. And so what we did was we put together an advancement funnel. So we're gonna walk through it. The first high level thing is all about communication. That is the simplest form. What's your name, last name, email address, what are you into, when did you graduate, all that kind of stuff. How are you tied to our organization? That's just data. We need to have that to fill in the CRM. Second one, experiential. This is where folks come. They like digitally, web visits, video views, virtual event attendance, those kind of things. It also could be in the physical form. Hey, come to homecoming, come to this event. There's a speaker, whatever it is. Come, experience. But you just sit down. You don't have to actually participate. You just consume. Because that third one is the next one, which is volunteer. So if they're taking the next step with your brand, then volunteer. And this is online survey, participation, social media ambassador, engaging online with prospective students, that kind of stuff. So that's the volunteer aspect of it. It also could be physical. Are they going to be on a board? Maybe the advancement board, maybe something else. It's just really not only just showing up and spending time, but now they're incorporating their talents into it as well. That's the next step in the advancement funnel. The fourth step is they become a donor. That's what this is all about, is that we want to earn those donations. And so those funds, and becoming a donor is ultimately where we want people to land. Not everybody's going to land there. Some people will just stick in one of the top 3 rings of this funnel. They might get down to donor, but either way, it is a process. We need to get them there. And then the final one is a major donor. Definitely not everybody's going to become a major donor. However, that is where it all kind of lands. And so you have to think of it in this way. It's communication, experiential, volunteer, donor, and then major donor. And we want to just invite people into the next step. And so this is the theory. This is kind of the structure behind it. However, when we really get into this and how this works, we need to talk about the marketing automation funnel.
The marketing automation funnel.
And so this is a huge part of the solution. That was more of the theory. Now this is actually how it works. Let me walk through it. So at the very top, what you're seeing is traffic strategies. That's social, web, email. You have to ask the question, how in the world are we going to get the right eyeballs on this content? And so that's traffic. That's social, like when you're scrolling through social media, Meta, Instagram, whatever, and you see, when you see ads or social posts, like that's what you're gonna see. And that's a traffic strategy. And then it all goes to a landing page of sorts, and that's where people engage it. And once they get there, that's when we can start tracking what's going on and the behavior that they are engaging with as it relates to the site that they're on, your site. And everything that they do is tracked. And we track the IP address. And once we track the IP address, we assign a user profile in the backend marketing automation software. I'm saying a lot of words really fast, and so you can just jump back and take a look at these. But in this marketing automation software, in the user profile, a lead score is calculated by the behavior that each of your users of your website are taking. Here's what this means. If they go to the homepage, one point is just for the homepage, but like if you were to go to that same exact website, but not the homepage, but the giving form. Ooh, this is more important. So let's give it 5 points. And if they watch 7 videos, let's give each of those videos 2 points. So we got 14 plus this, plus this, plus this. And eventually it keeps ticking up. The score keeps ticking up until it reaches a number that makes the most sense for your organization and the behavior that you're looking to track. And then that lead score, when it hits a certain number, you can have email automation that gets sent to your people internally that says, Jane Smith just watched all these videos. They're all about students. Pick up the phone, call Jane, and say, hey, we'd like to talk to you about this campaign we have going on and how it affects students. The point of this ultimately is that there's power in real-time data. In real-time data, you can see what people are doing, you can intuit what some of their motivation is. There's an incredible amount of information that we on the back end in a marketing automation software can create a ton of meaning and context that you then can turn around and make it actionable in all of your to-dos to move forward a donor conversation. That is real-time data, that's the power behind it. And if you pair that with well screening, let me just throw some numbers behind you. Let's say you have 10,000 people on your list and you look at wealth screening and you say, hey, there's 500 that are excellent candidates to have a donation conversation. 500 out of 1,000, well, which of those 500 do you pick up the phone and call? And that's the cool part, because you can now say, of the 500, I'm only gonna call the ones that are engaging with the campaign. And I can see that because of real-time data, that they've clicked on this, they've opened this email, they've done this, that of the 10,000 to 500 down to 10, top 10. And now these two things are true, from 10,000 to 500 to 10. And now you know two things about them. One, wealth screening looks very favorable. And number two, they've been engaging with the campaign. Let me just ask you a simple question. What else could you possibly want? And this is how you can look at a 10,000 to 500 to 10 and make excellent decisions based on real-time data, historical wealth screening data, all of this, and build the marketing automation funnel of your dreams for advancement and just crush it in any of the campaign that you're currently looking to run.